Hi, I'm Becca. Let's read together. But first, we're going to do our hand-washing song. We're gonna wash our hands till they're nice and clean. Soap and water is all we need. We're gonna wash our hands till they're nice and clean. Over and under and in between. Now rinse away and say hooray. Sloths Don't Run by Tori McGee, illustrated by Roxlana Panchishin. Somewhere in the rainforest, high up in a tree, there lives a pleasant sloth named Hank and a clever moth named Dee. They live their lives quite leisurely, sleeping lots and moving slow. They climb down from their tall tree home once every week or so. Hank's always been quite happy with his laid-back style of living, but lately he's been thinking that there might be something missing. While moving slow and sleeping is how most sloths spend their days, recently Hank asked himself, could I maybe change my ways? You see, Hank knows that sloths aren't the most athletic creatures. He wonders, though, could I go fast with training and some sneakers? One day, while hanging in the tree, Hank makes a big decision. He's nervous of what Dee might think, but decides to share his vision. All day I watch the jaguars as they run from place to place. This year, I'd like to join them for the Great Rainforest Race. Dee isn't sure of Hank's grand plan. She says it's a no-go. Hank, it's not a good idea. Sloths don't run. Didn't you know? Sure, jaguars are natural athletes, and they seem to move with ease. But with practice I can do it, Hank claims. Come with me, Dee, won't you please? Hank climbs down slowly from his tree, gripping tightly with his claws. Then he laces up all 4 sneakers, 1 shoe for each of his paws. Dee isn't sure about Hank's plan, but now what can she say? She decides that she'll support her friend each step along the way. And so begins Hank's training for his big rainforest run. But unlike the sporty jaguars, Hank isn't having any fun. This running stuff is such hard work. I'm tired, Hank says to Dee. I think I'll jog just a bit more, then we'll head back to the tree. Each day, Hank and Dee come down to practice for the race. Eventually, Hank finds the joy along with his happy pace. It's here! It's here! Today's the day! The Great Rainforest Race! The animals toe the starting line. Hank and Dee each take their place. The toucan shouts, "Ready, set, go!" And the animals take off fast. Hank and Dee start slowly. Other racers run right past. The jaguars take off in a hurry. The monkeys aren't far behind. As the animals come racing by, only finishing is on Hank's mind. Hank knows his slow and steady pace will get them to the line, so they press on toward the finish, taking one step at a time. Midway, they fall into last place. They're on the course alone, but that doesn't matter much to them. They're in a race of their own. They inch their way toward the finish, slow and steady as they've been, and in the end, they're greeted with their very own kind of win. You see, they didn't finish first. In fact, they took last place. But they learned an important lesson, more important than any race. Hank learned a lesson in courage, that it comes straight from the heart. And Dee learned that sometimes winning is having the courage to start. Later, they returned up high to a life of leisure in their tree. On nice days, they still go jogging, just Hank and his pal Dee. The end. Isn't that such a sweet story of two friends? And Hank teaches us a really, really great lesson, and it's so important even for the grown-ups in your life to remember that being brave is not just for superheroes. Being brave is you anytime you try something new, anytime you finish something that was hard and you didn't give up. So there's a lot of different ways that you can be courageous, which is a fancy word for brave. What's one way that you've been brave? So this is my dad, Joe, and he is a musician. He plays the guitar and he writes songs, and both of us loved this book so much that he wrote an original song all about Sloth's story called Sloths Don't Run. Enjoy!
Sloths don't run, but jaguars do, so it's not much of a race. Sloth knew he'd get to the finish line if he kept a slow and steady pace. Sloth inched his way to the finish line, just going slow and steady as he'd been. And in the end he gets greeted with his very own kind of win. Sloths don't run, but jaguars do, so it's not much of a race. Sloth knew he'd get to the finish line if he kept a slow and steady pace. The sloth learned a lesson in courage, and it comes straight from the heart. He learned that sometimes winning is having the courage to start. And he learned that sometimes winning is having the courage to start.
One of the great things about reading is that it opens up your imagination. And another thing you can do with an open imagination is to draw. So this is my friend Justin, and he's an artist, and he's going to show us how to draw.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Today we're going to draw a turtle. Hello. All the animals have big eyes. Whoa. Anna has the teeth. Oh yeah, look at that. And this one has its tongue sticking out because it's a fast turtle. Just kidding, it's a slow turtle. He thinks he's fast. Turtle don't know. Oh, I'm using a brush pen. You have to be very careful with it because if you go over, you'll get ink everywhere. He's a classic turtle. You may have seen his shell in such video games as Mario Kart, etc., etc. Oh, Nelly, I wish I had a video game right now. Too bad I can only draw. Alright, so I don't know what kind. No, we'll make this a real turtle. Yeah, that one. We'll give him a nice little octagon. Oh, let's add his feet real quick, because you know he's like. The turtles have tails? I think so. I've seen a turtle with a tail, not gonna lie. So that's good. That's good to go. And we're just gonna do octagons, kind of like on a soccer ball. And it's kind of like that S you draw in art school eventually. And no, it isn't, but it still works out that way. Just gotta remember the shape. And well, we're just gonna give him tiles. How about that? Yeah, like a little tiles like that. And that. Let's give him a party hat. I'm not so fast turtle with a party hat.